Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Grateful Kids Storytime. Today's episode is dedicated to Ryder and Rain Rodriguez, and our characters today will share their name. Today's shoutouts go to Steve B. in Quebec, Chelsea and Chance in Twinville, and Brittany from Hawaii. And last but not least, the virtue of bravery, who is the star of our show. Without further ado, I present to you, Dirt Bike Dragon. Once upon a time, in a town where the grass was greener, and the mud was thicker, and the skies were always the perfect shade of blue, lived a boy named Ryder and his little sister Rain. Ryder loved adventure, and could do a wheelie longer than anyone in town. Rain was small, but mighty, with a laugh that could make a grumpy old cat tap dance. Both of them had one thing in common. They loved riding dirt bikes. Not just loved. They dreamed about dirt bikes, doodled dirt bikes in their notebooks, and once, Rain even tried to eat spaghetti with handlebars. It didn't end well. One day, the town's annual Dirt Bike Dare was announced. It was the biggest event of the year, where riders from all over competed in wild races full of hills, ramps, and most importantly, a giant mud pit that could swallow a moose. Not that they had any moose, but it was that deep. Ryder was pumped. "This is it, Rain. This year, I'm going to win the grand prize." Rain's eyes sparkled. "What's the grand prize?" "No one knows," Ryder said. "They say it's a mystery, but last year it was a golden helmet signed by Muddy Mike himself." Muddy Mike was the coolest dirt biker in the universe. He once jumped over a river and ate a taco at the same time. Rain gasped, "I want to race too." Ryder blinked. "Rain, you're kinda tiny." "So is a bumblebee, but it can chase you for miles," Rain said, crossing her arms. Ryder sighed. All right, but you have to promise not to back out when things get tough." Rain grinned. "Tough? I eat tough for breakfast." She actually ate waffles, but it sounded cool. For the next week, Ryder and Rain trained like dirt bike warriors. Ryder practiced jumps. Rain practiced dodging, mostly dodging the neighbor's grumpy goose, who had decided Rain's helmet looked like an egg and kept trying to sit on it. The night before the race, their dad gave them a pep talk. "Racing isn't just about speed. It's about courage. Bravery isn't never being scared. It's doing what you love, even when you are scared." Rain nodded thoughtfully. Ryder pretended he already knew that, but secretly he stored those words away like a treasure map. Finally, it was race day. The crowd cheered, the engines roared, and the smell of adventure and a little bit of hot dogs filled the air. Ryder was at the starting line, feeling confident. Rain, in her slightly oversized gear, was right beside him, looking determined. The announcer's voice boomed, "Racers, get ready, get set, go!" Vroom! Ryder shot forward, dodging trees and zooming over hills. Rain, surprisingly, kept up, her little dirt bike buzzing like an excited bumblebee. But then, the mud pit. Ryder braced himself and soared over it, his bike landing with a smooth skid on the other side. Rain, well, she hit the mud pit at full speed. Sploosh! The crowd gasped. Ryder turned around. There was no sign of Rain, just a mud monster with a helmet sticking out of the top. Then, the mud monster moved. Rain wiped the gunk from her face. "This is awesome!" The audience roared with laughter. Even the grumpy goose honked approvingly. Rain revved her engine and burst out of the pit like a swamp creature on wheels. She was behind, but she wasn't giving up. Ryder was almost at the finish line, but suddenly he saw something. Rain's bike was wobbling. Her handlebars were loose. For a split second, Ryder thought about the grand prize, but then he remembered what Dad had said. Bravery wasn't about winning. It was about doing what was right, even when it was tough. With a deep breath, Ryder slowed down, letting Rain catch up. "Hop on!" he shouted. Rain hesitated. "But the race!" "Forget the race," Ryder said. "Hold on tight." Rain grabbed onto his back, and together they zoomed forward, crossing the finish line just as Rain yelled, "Whee!" The crowd went wild. The announcer boomed, "And the winners are Ryder and Rain for the most epic finish in dirt bike history." Rain pumped her fist. "Did we just win the grand prize?" The mayor stepped forward with a mysterious box. "You two showed true bravery, so Your prize is... The crowd held their breath. The mayor opened the box and pulled out a giant mud pie. The crowd gasped. Rain's eyes lit up. Best prize ever! Ryder groaned. I risked my life for a dessert? Rain shrugged. Not just a dessert, a symbol of victory. Then she scooped up a handful and smushed it right into Ryder's face. Splat! The crowd laughed. Ryder wiped his face and grinned. All right, Rain, I guess that was pretty brave of you. Rain smirked. Told ya, tiny but mighty. And from that day on, Ryder knew one thing for sure. Winning wasn't about being the fastest. It was about having the courage to do what was right, even if it meant getting a little muddy along the way. And also, never trust your sister with a mud pie. Now that wasn't the end for our riders, because, as you might remember, the story is titled Dirt Bike Dragon. And so a little after this adventure, in the town of Dusty Hollow, where the wind smelled like adventure and every road led to something exciting, Ryder considered himself now the fastest dirt bike racer in town. Rain was determined to prove she could ride just as well as he could. One day I'm going to be even better than you, Rain would always say, revving her tiny yellow dirt bike. You'll have to catch me first, Ryder would tease, zooming off in a cloud of dust. Every weekend they rode the fields and forests outside town, leaping over hills, dodging trees, and splashing through muddy creeks. But there was one place they never rode, the deep, dark cave at the top of Howler Hill. Why? Because of the dragon, of course. Now nobody had actually seen the dragon, but everyone knew it was there. According to legend, it guarded a treasure hidden deep inside the cave, and anyone who tried to steal it was never seen again. Old Mr. Buckley, the town's best storyteller and worst pancake maker, swore he once heard it sneeze and set a tree on fire. Ryder and Rain weren't scared much, but a fire-breathing dragon? That was different. Until one fateful Saturday, Ryder and Rain were racing through the woods when Rain suddenly skidded to a stop. Whoa, look at this, she shouted. A tattered piece of paper was pinned to a tree with an old rusty nail. It read, Help, I'm trapped in the dragon's cave. Save me. Rain's eyes widened. Something's in trouble. Ryder scratched his head. Or someone wants us to think they're in trouble. What if this is a trick? What if it's not? Rain shot back. What if someone is trapped in the cave right now while we're standing here arguing? Ryder hesitated. Sure, the cave was scary, but what kind of hero turns away from someone in need? Fine, he sighed. But if we see so much as one scaly claw, we turn around and ride like our pants are on fire. Rain grinned. Deal. They rode their dirt bikes up Howler Hill, dodging bumpy rocks and low-hanging branches. As they neared the cave, the air grew colder, and the wind howled through the trees like a ghost with a sore throat. Finally, they reached the entrance. It was a gaping black hole in the side of the mountain, wide enough to fit a house. You first, Rain whispered. Me? You're the one who wanted to come. Rock, paper, scissors? Fine. They played 3 rounds. Rain won every single one. Fine, Ryder grumbled, taking a deep breath and stepping inside. The cave was dark, damp, and smelled faintly of burnt marshmallows. Their footsteps echoed off the walls as they moved deeper inside, flashlights flickering, and then they heard it. A deep rumbling snore. Rain grabbed Ryder's arm. It's asleep, she whispered. Ryder gulped. That's great. Let's find whoever left that note and get out before it wakes up. They tiptoed past giant boulders and strange, shimmering rocks. Then suddenly they saw it, a massive pile of treasure. Gold coins, goblets, swords, and... Rain gasped. Dirt bikes! Sure enough, mixed in with the gold were dirt bikes. Shiny ones, rusty ones, even ones that looked like it had wings. Before they could wonder why a dragon would collect dirt bikes, the cave shook. The snoring stopped, and 2 enormous glowing yellow eyes opened in the darkness. Who dares enter my lair? Boomed a deep voice. Ryder and Rain froze. Out of the shadows stepped the dragon. It was huge, bigger than a school bus, with shimmering green scales, smoky breath, and a helmet on its head. Wait, a helmet? The dragon squinted at them. Are you here to challenge me to a race? Rain blinked. What? I have waited 1,000 years for a worthy opponent. The dragon flapped its wings excitedly, sending gold coins flying. You see, long ago I was the greatest dirt bike racer in the land. Ryder exchanged a look with Rain. You're a racing dragon? Indeed, the dragon puffed out its chest. But alas, no one dares to race me anymore. They all assume I just sit here guarding treasure. So boring. Rain hesitated, then smiled. Well, we do like a challenge. The dragon grinned, showing off its very large teeth. Then let's race. If you win, I'll let you take one treasure each. If I win, you must stay and race me forever. Ryder gulped. What if we say no? The dragon smirked. Then I eat you for lunch with barbecue sauce. Race it is, Rain said quickly. They lined up at the cave entrance. The dragon's dirt bike was gigantic, with flaming wheels and a seat made of dragon scales. Ryder and Rain weren't sure how they were supposed to beat a fire-breathing racer, but they had no choice. 3, 2, 1, go! The dragon blasted off like a rocket, leaving a trail of smoke behind. Ryder and Rain hit the gas, speeding down the hill, dodging rocks and trees. Ryder pulled ahead, and with a daring leap over a log, Come on, Rain! Rain gritted her teeth and zoomed ahead, taking a shortcut through a muddy creek. The dragon, meanwhile, tried to follow, but got stuck in the mud. Oh, come on! It roared, flapping its wings in frustration. Ryder and Rain reached the bottom of the hill, skidding to a stop. We won! Rain cheered. The dragon stomped down after them, shaking its head. Well, flap my wings and call me a chicken. That was the best race I've had in centuries, it sighed, then smiled. A deal's a deal. Choose your treasures. Rain picked the dirt bike with wings. Ryder chose a golden helmet. As they climbed onto their bikes, the dragon called, Come back any time. I'll be waiting for a rematch. Maybe, Ryder called back, but no barbecue sauce next time. As they rode home, Rain turned to Ryder. You know what's funny? What? We never found out who left that note. Ryder frowned. Hey, you're right. Who was trapped in the cave? At that moment, a squirrel wearing a tiny goggles zipped past them in a very small dirt bike, squeaking, Took you long enough. Ryder and Rain stopped, watching in stunning silence as the squirrel sped off into the sunset. Then they burst out laughing. Best adventure ever, Rain said, and with that, they rode home, already planning their next one. The end. If you enjoyed our story, don't forget to follow us and leave a comment. If you would like a shout out to have a character named after you in one of our stories, you can email gratefulkidsstorytime@gmail.com and ask. Until next time, everyone, stay grateful.